Hey everybody, this is Christina, the Amputee OT. In this video, I want to talk to you about some of the difficulties in the prosthetic fitting process. I'm hoping from my videos that I don't give the impression that the prosthetic fitting process is linear and easy, because it is definitely not. Especially for somebody like me who's kind of impatient and has gone through multiple surgeries. I kind of see all of those surgeries in my mind as just one part of the whole process. And that has gotten me into some trouble, sort of emotionally, with some of the issues that I've been having with getting my leg fitted for me. So instead of seeing the process of getting fitted for a leg as basically starting over from scratch when I had my second revision on my above-knee amputation, I kind of saw it as like a process that started in September, when really I should have been looking at it as a process that started in February when I got my revision, because I was basically starting over again completely. I had to get all new sockets made because my leg shape had changed. So it was kind of like I had gotten my leg amputated all over again, which in a way I did. So I'm going to show you this clip of me that I took when I was really frustrated with my leg not fitting and hurting me. Fair warning, there's tears and snot. Okay, go.
I just wanted to do this update. My socket hurts too much for me to wear it, and I got really frustrated. I really wanted to wear it today as long as possible. Hi, baby. I love you. But it hurts a lot at the end of my femur right here. So I had to take it off.
Mama!
Oh, I love you, honey. And my baby, I love you. Sometimes things suck.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Red.
Red, yeah.
Plain.
Okay, baby, I love you.
Alright, so at that time I was definitely very frustrated with the prosthetic fitting process and annoyed because I was having little issues with everything. But here's the thing, here's how to solve those issues. How to solve those issues is by building and maintaining an important relationship with your prosthetist. So I was going to my prosthetist and I was saying, look, this check socket is a failure, it doesn't fit me, it hurts really bad, it's just a complete failure. And he rightfully pointed out that a check socket that is uncomfortable is not a failure, because in prosthetics, a check socket is just that. It's a check socket. It's a diagnostic tool. It's a tool to find out, in some cases, what doesn't work in order to figure out what does work. And so if you have a check socket that hurts, then you know it hurts and you know where it hurts. And you're able to communicate with your prosthetist where it hurts, and then the prosthetist is able to make the appropriate adjustments so that it doesn't hurt there anymore. So it's a diagnostic tool that is used for prosthetists to make you a functional socket that is comfortable and wearable. And a lot of times this can be a really, really disappointing and frustrating experience for amputees, because they don't expect to have to go through so many check sockets. They kind of feel like, you know, you go to the prosthetist, you get a check socket made, you get your final socket made, and then you're on your merry way. That is not reality at all. You have to go through many fittings. So I've been going to my prosthetist every week, sometimes twice a week, for a couple of months. That's a lot of hours being spent in the prosthetist's office, getting things adjusted, walking on my leg, testing different things out, testing out different alignments, sometimes testing out 5 or 6 different things in a session. Now there are some amputees who get a check socket and it's really uncomfortable and unwearable, and they think that that means that their prosthetist is a poor practitioner. So I see things on, web forums and online chat forums where people are like, I got this check socket and it really hurts and I wasn't able to walk on it. And then you see other people and their comments are, oh, you need to get a new prosthetist. And that is not usually the correct answer. Creating sockets that work for people requires persistence, knowledge, education, and art. And just because you have one that doesn't work does not mean that your prosthetist is a poor practitioner. Now, if your prosthetist said, oh yeah, I see that it hurts you, but I'm not going to work with you anymore, or that's the last one we're going to make for you, and they've only made one for you, then yeah, probably your prosthetist is a poor practitioner. But if they keep working with you and keep having you come back into the office and keep trying different things and keep trying to find a solution for you, then that is a marker of a good practitioner. And a practitioner might try a bunch of different things for you for your socket. They might try different liners, they might try a different type of suspension, whether it be suction or pin lock or lanyard. They might try different shape of socket because there's not just one way to contain all of the volume in your residual limb. It might actually be not the socket at all, but an alignment problem, because if your socket is misaligned, then it's going to hurt too. If you see that your prosthetist is trying different things with you and working with you to get a socket that fits you, then that's going to be a good prosthetist. If you see a prosthetist that gives up and says, well, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to get used to it, then that maybe is not such a good prosthetist. Although, I also have a caveat for that. So, when you're a new amputee and you get a new leg, your limb is going to be subjected to pressures and weight bearing in areas that it's not used to. And so, there is an acclimation period to getting used to a socket. So, if you put a socket on and it's initially really uncomfortable, a week later, it might be fine. You don't really know. You just have to try it out in order to see. Now, if it's just downright painful and you can tell it's going to continue to be painful, then that is something that maybe needs to be addressed. But if it's just uncomfortable, then that might be something that just works it out. It's kind of like breaking in a new pair of shoes, but on super steroids. Because your feet are subjected to a lot of different pressures and weight bearing all the time. Your feet are totally used to that. But you still have to break in new shoes sometimes. Your leg, your residual limb, is not used to bearing any weight on those surfaces at all. So I got really frustrated, but that's okay. Being frustrated is fine. I was mad, I cried, I talked to my prosthetist, and I told him that I felt like I was never going to be able to walk and that I was going to be a failure as an above-the-knee amputee. I wouldn't be able to use a prosthesis, and he had to totally talk me down from that, explaining, look, you've really only tried one check socket. I know it feels like you've tried several check sockets, but you've really only tried one since this most recent surgery, and that's the one you have to think about, that you've only tried that one, so you can't really even count all the other ones in a way. Keep working with your prosthetist. The best thing that you can do is communicate to them where it hurts, when it hurts, and help them to figure out what you need. They need to know what you're experiencing and what you're feeling in order to modify the socket so that it works for you. Alright, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. There's one type of comment that, and I don't even know if I want to say this, but I just kind of don't want to hear it. So, whenever I post anything about my difficulty with socket fit as an above-the-knee amputee, I have people who comment and they say things like, oh, you should get osseointegration. Osseointegration is when they insert a metal rod into your femur and then they allow it to heal, and part of that rod sticks out of your femur, and then you attach your prosthesis to that metal rod so you don't have to wear any socket at all. I'm super happy that this works out for a lot of people. That's great. I think it does have some limitations, and I am not ready to pursue osseointegration yet because of those limitations. I'll have to talk about those in a different video. If you feel like telling me I should get osseointegrated, just don't. Don't say that. Like, it almost seems like it's approaching religious zealotry at times, how often people will comment that I need to get an osseointegration without considering that I probably already know what an osseointegration is, and that there's a reason I haven't chosen osseointegration. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for following my journey, and see you later. Bye!